Well, that sucks.
That's about right. I'm smiling here because when Ryan says we have 5 seconds, I'm just waiting for Luds to ask me a question or have some sort of anatomical debate. You just never know. But you know what? Perfectly quiet because he's probably not paying attention now. That's okay. We'll get his attention. We'll break this one down. Stars get a point. They have extended their point streak to 6. They don't win, which is disappointing, but they get something. Here on the DLS Stars postgame show starts right now. This is the DLS Stars postgame show after the Dallas Stars pick up a point in a 3-2 shootout loss to the Florida Panthers. I had to think about that for a second because it was 2-2. Did they score more goals? They did not. They were close. Alongside Craig Ludwig, I'm Owen Newkirk. Our producer tonight is Ryan Vaughters. R.I.P. Sam. He's not dead, but he's not here today. And before we get into everything, let's talk about those T-shirts again because the new Face-Off collection, great-looking shirts. And there's a couple stipulations, little bonus things. We are under 10 to go to our goal. If we sell 25 this week, our GM Ben promised he would get us each a free T-shirt for the guys on the show. And then Luds
opened up his big mouth.
And now he can't put the cat back in there or the horse in the barn or whatever the weird analogy is, metaphor, whatever. So wait till you hear from Luds again in the ad read a little bit later. He'll tell you about those T-shirts and what he offered. If you buy the shirt, we get to the 25 marker and then wear them as part of the Hooters trip. It's not just the Hooters trip. It's actually the Stars takeover. All that and more we'll talk about in a little while. All right, let's get into this one tonight. Luds, the Stars get a point for the 6th consecutive game, but they don't win for the 2nd straight game. They are 3-0-3. They had that overtime loss. Then they picked up 3 wins in a row. Another overtime loss. They got past overtime this time. Got to the shootout where they have some pretty big weapons. Although, Jason Robertson's shootout move was a little different than what we're used to seeing. He went the other direction. He tried something different.
He tried to sneak it in.
You think he overthought it?
Nope. I think he tried to open up Bobrovsky, and he tried to sneak it through the 5-hole, and it didn't work out for him.
And that's rare because Jason Robertson, much like UC Jokinen, feels like he's almost automatic in the shootouts. But Stars do get a point, and like I said many times before, there are good ways to lose and bad ways to lose in the NHL, and losing correctly means getting points. So 2 points out of, technically, it's almost like winning 1 and losing 1 in the 2 games in Florida. That's what it counts like in the standings, except for some tiebreakers. But that's better than not.
The old philosophy, which may still stand, is if you play 750 hockey at home and 500 on the road, you're going to be a playoff team.
Should be.
And that's pretty much 500 on the road right now. 2 out of 4 points. I think my math from Eagle River, Wisconsin High School that I didn't graduate from, but that's 500.
They just said, fine, go.
No, they said, get the hell out of here. It was a little different.
I love it. Yeah, don't come back.
Yep. Yeah, that was it.
That's great.
No, it was an entertaining game. I think it started a little, what's going on here?
First period was very much like that.
Yeah, but I thought it was an entertaining game. They didn't disappoint from a viewing standpoint.
The difference, again, over the last 3-4 years is the Stars, although they're shorthanded right now, as are the Panthers, missing some big weapons, both teams, due to injury. But over the last few years, the Stars have been a good enough team that they can go toe-to-toe with anybody in the league. Doesn't mean they're going to win every night, but they have the firepower to stand in the middle of the ring and exchange blows. Unlike in the past where it felt like they've got to stand, I guess a little bit like the Lightning the other night. That was more, I think, the way that Tampa played. Dallas looked beleaguered a bit. Those are the games where you go, wow, our goalie really stood on her head, and we had to hang on and survive, and almost won because of power play. It just didn't work out. This is one of those games where a lesser team falls a couple goals down to Florida in the middle period on the road and kind of goes away quietly. Dallas doesn't do that.
But I do think that there's going to be a conversation about playing catch-up hockey, and it's tough to chase any team in the NHL than a two-time defending Stanley Cup champion that are, like you said earlier, missing some key pieces. But Bobrovsky was good when he needed to be. I thought Casey DeSmith may have wanted one back to kind of. There were a couple of them that went through him, but the other thing about Casey, I mean, he's a battler for sure. But there are the difference between him, I think, and Otter is when Otter makes a save, he makes a save, and there's really not a lot of litter laying around. And
Feels like it sticks to him pretty well.
Yeah, and I think with Casey, it seems like there's a lot of pucks that are loose, but he finds them. You know what I mean? I think that's probably an area that he would like to clean up. But again, I thought there were big saves on both, and I thought both would probably be disappointed when it comes to goaltenders. I think both would be disappointed in a couple goals that went through them.
Yeah. That being said, your job as a backup goalie is to give your team a chance to win. He did that again. That's 2 out of 3.
And your starter a breather.
And a starter
still
breather.
Collect the point here and there.
And the thing is that because of the schedule this week, Jake could have played this game.
Yeah.
But the concern is, I think, down the road. We talked about it briefly in the pregame show. Maybe we'll touch on this at a little bit more length next week on our Monday show. But I was going to ask, because Sean wrote a piece for our website, alldls.com, not long ago. I want to say it was a week ago maybe, where he was talking about that Casey needs to play more because of the accumulation down the road. The thing is when you play Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, lads, your starter could play all 3 of those games. And when you're playing Tampa, when you're playing Florida, you really want your starter in the net for those. But, well, actually, even Washington on Tuesday. But there has to be some level of willpower and discipline from the coaching staff to say, and they showed it tonight, we have to trust our backup. Casey DeSmith was excellent last year in that role, and we need to make sure that because this team fancies itself a playoff contender, that their starting goalie is in the best position he can be in when game 83 and beyond.
The thing that I think about first is if it were Hellebuck, Vasilevsky, and they're going in to play against Bobrovsky, a Stanley Cup champion 2 years in a row, I think that they're saying, no, coach, I want this game.
Is that when your buddy Patrick circles and says, these are the games I'm playing? Or this?
Well,
is
he
where
circled 72 dates.
Yes.
You know, I mean,
right.
He was like Brodeur. But I just think that the top goalies in the league, and you can understand it, want to play against the top guy on the other side, the guy that's got the hardware in the last couple of years. And I would think that when Bob went in to play against Vasilevsky, when they won their couple, he wanted to play against him because that's what he wanted. So, and I don't know if those conversations happen, and I think, and I don't know if Jake is that kind of guy that would want to go in and say, hey, coach, I really want this one. Can we flip-flop these 2 games and let Casey start this one? Because, I mean, I think it's always good for the big guys to go head-to-head, especially a guy that wants to get there. And again, regardless what it is, everybody's using, from a goaltending standpoint, I think they're using Bobrovsky for a measuring stick from a goalie standpoint.
Sure.
And from a team standpoint, so are the coaches when they're playing against,
and I would think the same with when you play Winnipeg and you play Hellebuck.
Yeah. So it does surprise me, but again, I think that, like they said, we have a schedule here. We believe in it, and as long as you believe in it, then we're fine. Let's move forward.
Well, they certainly had a chance there. What the concern, I guess, we'll get through our breakdown here in the next segment, but when you think about even strength scoring,
what's that?
Yes, exactly. It hasn't been much lately. Thank goodness the Stars special teams, especially their power play, has been lethal.
Well, they got one tonight, 5-on-5.
They did. They got the equalizer, which is an important one.
With the extra attacker, I mean, again, what you have with the extra attacker is you have your best players on the ice for the most part, right? All the time. And I think that's why they're scoring those power play goals. And you look at who's scoring them. Although Sam Steele was excellent tonight, and if you were here for the pregame show, I wasn't throwing those certain players under the bus, but I wasn't throwing flowers at them. But Sam Steele stepped up and had a great game tonight. That being said, they're in a spot. They are where they are right now. Yep. And the 5-on-5 stuff goal wise is hard to come by, but they're finding other ways to gather points. And I'm almost going, we have a couple life jackets around the corner, hopefully, and we're hoping a couple of those guys get back in the lineup. And, you know, if we can do this without 2, 3, 4 of our bullets in the gun, look at where we're going to be. And again, maybe some of this has to do with working on their own D zone and not having as many breakdowns as they would have had in the last year or two, and allowing, you know, you to hang around for somebody big time to come up. And again, tonight, it was Rantanen late in the game, and where you're thinking, man, that was a tough goal to give up at that point with only 5-6 minutes to go in the game, and they find a way for, again, Rantanen finds a way to step up again, and he was just getting absolutely abused behind the net with Ekblad a couple times, but he fights through it, and it was a beautiful pass from Steele.
So the Bennett goal was with 7:34 left to go in regulation, so under 10 minutes, and a little less than 5 minutes later, Rantanen scores the tying goal. That's a good response, but it's also your big guns. Luds, they made a line shuffle today. Although
on the winning goal,
it was
the tying goal,
Steele, Robertson, and Rantanen, but they went out and started with Wyatt Johnston centering Jason Robertson and Mikko Rantanen. I remember we saw that and you said, well, that's tough on the road because that could be you're going to get their best defensive group if you're going to load up like that. But boy, they were good early, and Sam Steele had a heck of a hockey game.
You know, and I wonder if part of the philosophy was who was missing from the Florida lineup, meaning Tkachuk and most importantly Barkov. And when you've got a guy like Barkov that will go out and basically sometimes can shut down the other team's top line by himself, are you drawing them out when those guys aren't there? Are you drawing out what you want to see what the other coaches are going to do? Let's have your guys go head to head, your 3 or 4 that you have left, and we just kind of everything else plays itself out, and we have confidence in that if we've got your secondary players against our so-called secondary players, we believe we can outdo you. But again, I don't know if that's Gully's thinking, because we've seen Glenn Gullickson do a lot of tweaking with the line.
And we're going to see it again because of the fact that there are going to be some guys getting healthy. Oscar Beck came back tonight. I didn't notice Oscar in a big way.
I was going to say the same thing.
But I just think that it gave, talked about rhythm and sort of balance. I think it gave the other lines a chance to do their part without having, I'm not saying that double shifting a guy on the top 6 in one of the open slots is necessarily a bad thing. If anything, it's probably good for them, but sometimes it's good for them to have that extra 30 seconds of rest.
Yeah, and they have the ability to double shift their top guys looking for some 5-on-5 stuff. But yeah, and my only concern is like if you've got to lean on these guys this early in the season. Just like the goalies, does that wear it down? Yeah, and again, the schedule isn't friendly to anybody this year with the Olympic break, as we talk about all the time. And I think coming off of this now, what do they got? Like 7 games in 12 days?
Again.
Something
they
like
just
that.
Finished that today.
So, and other teams, although Florida didn't have that schedule, but they'll have it coming up.
Oh, they will. There's no way you have 3 days off in the middle of or the end of October and then not have it come back to bite you with some tight games. I mean, you have the same amount of days to get the same number of games in. So how you divvy them up there'll be some good and bad moments.
Isn't it kind of freaky, though? It was Halloween.
Last night.
That the guy that was talked about a lot over the last week, and I'm talking about Brad Marchand, you know, with what he did and helping a friend out and going on a bench for a U18 team and kind of left the team for a few days, ends up scoring the first goal and the last goal of the game. I mean, you want to talk about a big-time player.
Clutch.
Just
clutch.
Unreal and just relentless. What is he, 36 now?
36.
36?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, just clutch, relentless superstar, Hall of Famer. For sure, for me.
And he's amazing because he really is a good human being off the ice. He's not on the ice at all. He leans into it.
Yeah.
He's like a smaller version of Corey Perry in the way that his personality changes drastically from being on the ice and off the ice. Yep. They're different players, but they're both extremely effective. They're both gamers, and they find a way. I mean, Perry was a former league MVP. He's a Stanley Cup winner. He knows how to, I mean, even at 40, he's still finding ways to be effective. And Brad Marchand still a few years younger, but, you know, it's funny, Luds, because we were talking about, I think, him last year and saying, well, I don't know if Marchand's much of a regular season player anymore, but boy, in the playoffs, he'll come up big. Well, he's leading their team in scoring right now.
Yeah. Well, you know, and it just seems like some of the antics, the licking and all those kind of things, it seems like now with Florida, it's a little bit different. I mean, it's
say that.
It's
Do
never
you
going to go
remember
away.
last
A
week?
face wash here and there, and
The helmet with the Buffalo Sabres, and he tore.
Well, that
Colleen's
was just the wires
straps
for a second.
Yeah,
I mean, he was done wrong. He was done wrong by
got cross-checked in the back.
So he. I mean, again, I don't think he's ever going to clean it. I just think that the atmosphere being part of that organization and that team and the championships that he went over there, all this other kind of stuff. Maybe he dials it back a little bit or picks his spots maybe a little bit better.
Well, we'll talk about the full breakdown of this one. 4-3 shootout win for the Panthers. Stars get a point, though, for the 6th straight game, and we'll break it all down for you next here on the DLLS Stars postgame.
Yep. Let's get to the new ones. Qualis Roofing, with over 700 5-star reviews and an average rating of 4.9, Qualis Roofing is one of the most trusted names in roofing across North Texas and Austin. Homeowners and business owners alike consistently praise Qualis for their honesty, follow-through, and quality workmanship. Whether it's your home or your business, Qualis Roofing has you covered literally. They specialize in both residential and commercial roofing projects. Based right here in North Texas, Qualis isn't some storm-chasing fly-by-the-night crew. They're local, experienced, and committed to doing things the right way. No pressure, no gimmicks, just honest assessments and quality work. Schedule a free roof inspection and get a free DLLS shirt. There we go with the shirts again. Replace your roof with Qualis and choose between a free Blackstone grill or a Traeger smoker, because getting a new roof should come with a little extra sizzle. Supposed to say laugh out loud. LOL. Okay. If your home was hit by recent storms, don't wait. Qualis offers free storm damage assessments and can help guide you through the insurance process. Qualis isn't just a good roofing company. They're great at communication. You'll always know where your project stands and what to expect next. Call or go online to schedule your free roof inspection. And don't forget to ask about your free grill or grills. Visit QualisGC.com or just search Qualis Roofing and Construction. That's Qualis, QUALIS, or call 817-500-9008 and get started today.
Thanks, lads. Let's talk about PNC Bank. Long-term growth takes patience and commitment, something banking and hockey hair, remember, have in common. PNC Bank recognizes the value of long-term growth, too. It's time to see how good long-term growth looks on you. Pick up your free Dallas Stars hockey hair hat pregame at PNC Plaza. Compliments of PNC Bank, November 4th and 6th at PNC's pop-up Main Street branch. No purchase necessary, one per person. While supplies last. Copyright 2025 at the PNC Financial Services Group, Incorporated. PNC Bank, an official partner, the Dallas Stars. Okay, we break this one down now. First period, no goals to tell you about. Not a lot of shots either. 6-5 Florida, but there were 3 high-danger chances. Cole Schwint.
Who?
That's right, Cole Schwint.
Okay.
Had a short-handed drive to the net. He was on his backhand. Nice little save by Casey DeSmith. Then Jason Robertson with a really nice pass by Mikko Rantanen. An open shot. Bobrovsky makes a good save. And then Brad Marchand right at the end of the period. Thought for a minute maybe Casey got a toe on it, Luds. But when we watched the replay, from one angle it looked like he made the save. But from the other angle, we found out he didn't make the save.
Did he get a save on the score sheet?
No, it hit the post.
Okay, well, that angle is right.
Yep, it was. Second period, first chance, 1-0 Florida.
Who was that again?
I believe that was the Rat King himself.
The little ball of hate. Yeah, Brad Marchand. I mean, a couple little things here. Miro tries to make a cross-ice pass, and it's Lundell that's in the lane. So I don't know what Miro thought if he was going to try to sauce it over the top, but there really wasn't even a lane there. And immediately Florida just turns it back up ice. It's a 3-on-2 going the other way. They do a good job of breaking this whole thing down. But again, very simply put, Brad Marchand picks the puck up, takes himself wide, and this is Jason Robertson. I have Robo circled here because he's back on defense. Again, maybe if it's a defenseman, he might be able to turn a little sooner, use his long reach like a defenseman would and try to get a stick on it. But again, forwards aren't used to turning and going. But Brad Marchand, he gets about, Owen says it's 31 feet, a 31-foot shot.
No. The official score sheet says
that's what
31
the official.
feet.
Okay.
It wasn't Owen making that choice.
Okay, so the official sheet, well, there it is. It's got to be official. It's
written on the screen,
feet.
Luds. We can't argue that.
And this one here, I think if Sean was here, he'd say Casey came out and challenged. He just didn't keep everything tight. because it just
Yeah.
sneaks. I believe it sneaks through underneath his left arm here. And again, who else but Brad Marchand? And with everything else that was going on in his life and going on the bench and all, well, there you can see the little hole here underneath Casey's left
Great
hand.
shot.
And immediately he's recognizing his.
I would say a goalie probably sees that shot and goes, I should have that.
Yeah, well, I think he was in great spot. I mean, he comes out to challenge. And the other thing is, you think about Marchand and a guy like that. That to me, if it's well, maybe not him, but other players, they see a goaltender out that far, and you have a step on a forward that's defending. He may cut to his left and then come around and just tuck it in the back of the net on his way down to the goal line. But again, obviously made the right decision.
I told you this story before, but I'll repeat it because I think this instance is really good. I remember years ago when Ben Bishop was the Dallas Stars goalie, there was a night where a goal went in from an acute angle that everyone said, oh, that's a soft one. He got asked about it post-game, and he flat out said, I read it the way I should. I did the technique I wanted. I executed my maneuver, and I just missed it. It got by me. I wouldn't change a thing, but I'd expect that if I do that, I'm going to make that save. And I think Casey's
yeah, I agree.
Same thing. Like, hey, I did the right thing. I went to where I went. I didn't get it.
Yeah, and I don't watch Casey enough to know that he was very aggressive on that. I mean, when you look at that again,
he's not Jake's size.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he comes out to cut the angle way down. I think you probably played it perfectly with the exception of not keeping his arms in tight.
Well, it was 1-0 because of Brad Marchand's goal. Leads the team in goals with 6. Well, at least for 3 minutes, a little less than 3 minutes. And then Sam Reinhart tied the team lead with 6 because, Luds, this was a 3-play sequence. Evan Rodriguez hit the post. I know you're going to break this all down. Verhaeghe missed on a great chance from the left side of the crease. And then Sam Reinhart scored from an impossible angle.
Well, the first guy you mentioned, to me, has everything to do with this. This is Rodriguez behind the net, and the puck is supposed to be going north right here for Dallas. But what happens is Rodriguez gets on his horse, and he's doing what this team does. They bring guys back to their own end hard, and it's an errant pass that comes off the wall, though, and it catches Tyler. I don't think Tyler Seguin's able to pick this up, and you can see the puck here. It's going to bounce off the wall. Seguin's coming over. He's obviously on his offside, and he's trying to come over to pick this puck up, and he misses it. And it kind of goes between his feet, I believe, and his stick. And so it was a poor bounce, and that's really what happened. But it was Rodriguez who stays on his horse. He finds this loose puck, and all he does is he just turns back to his forehand side, throws it to the net. Somehow, Casey didn't see this, and so that's where it hits the far right post for Casey. That's when it goes out to Verhaeghe on the far left side.
Did you think it was going in when he lobbed that one over his shoulder?
I couldn't tell what was going on because I was curious what may have been in the way, and I don't know if it's the stick here or what happened.
Reinhart waved at it.
Yeah, and I looked, and we tried to find it, and I didn't see the puck change directions at all. So I don't think he ever touched this thing. Obviously,
do you think that with the Stars video coaches, if Reinhart had made contact, because his stick is above the crossbar right now, that they might have considered challenge if he did for a missed stoppage of play? Because if he makes contact here, Reinhart, that's a high stick, and as soon as Verhaeghe touches it, the play should die.
Right.
But I don't think he does. But you're right. It was really hard to see, and that thing kind of arced over Casey and hit the post.
Now, see, I don't know that a complete rule. It hits the post. Is it still like a live puck? Because it hit the crossbar.
You're saying if he high sticks it, and then it hits the post?
It's the crossbar, then goes to Verhaeghe.
I think that's part of the playing surface, so I think that it still hasn't been touched.
Right, and that's what it did.
That would be my interpretation.
So anyway, Verhaeghe takes it, and Verhaeghe's just trying to score the goal. He misses the net, and then it goes over to Sam Reinhart, who, again, is standing on the goal line. You can barely see him in the picture, and just fires it at DeSmith, and he knows exactly what he's doing. I mean, you can look where DeSmith is. He's still over on the right-hand side of the net, and on his way back, hits him in that left pad, and then the net it goes. And again, Reinhart knows exactly what he's doing, and he knew exactly where DeSmith was.
I mean, talk about high hockey IQ to recognize that and say, I have a chance to cause a goalie some discomfort, and he did just that.
Yeah, just all I got to do is get it over there somewhere because the puck is going to hit him, and it's going to bring him back towards the net, the side that he's on, and he gets fortunate on this one.
So
was up a couple.
Verhaeghe and Rodriguez get the assist there. Lostarinen and Lundell the assist on the Marchand goal. And Florida's up 2-0 after 4 minutes of the second period. And here we are again. This has been too many times lately where Dallas has not only given up the first, but also given up the second goal of the game.
Yeah, you're playing catch up. You know what I mean? That's to me, should be I think they've probably talked to you. You can't continue to get behind teams, especially teams like this. It makes it difficult to come back. And then, but again, Dallas finds a way. I mean, they found ways now, and they've got a couple big dogs that can score those big goals, and Rantanen did it again at the end of that to get it tied up at least.
And we don't want to beat a dead horse, but listen, as you see on the screen, it says 5v5 Dallas. Why? They're missing Rope, Hintz, and Matt Duchene. Add those pieces, and all of a sudden, it sort of feels like they have like 1.5 scoring lines at the moment. They can get to 2, maybe even drop somebody that's in the top 6 into the 3rd line, and all of a sudden you've got pieces of 3 scoring lines. You've got guys healthy scratched instead of playing with 11 forwards. They're missing a little bit here.
And the guys that you're talking about have to be on top of their game.
That's that competition for places.
And the thing is they can't. They're playing, anywhere between 20 and 25, 26 minutes a night every other night. It's tough to be on top of your game and being the go-to guy.
Boy, Mikko played 23 minutes tonight.
Those guys all have to be at their best to some way find these kind of comebacks.
Mikko 23, Jason 21:45, Wyatt 20 minutes even. That's again, they can handle it, but that's a lot of time for your top 3 guys.
Well, and again, they didn't have to kill a lot of penalties. So a couple of those guys are killing PK at times, so I think that helps out a little bit.
Even Seguin played 19:32, and again, that's a lot for a guy that's
and I had said
there,
last year when Tyler was playing, again, I know he didn't play all season, but he was around 16 minutes. Right now, this time with these injuries out there, he's around 17.5 on average.
You have to give credit though to Gully and staff and Neil Graham. All the forwards played over 11 minutes, so it wasn't like it was 5 minutes here, 25 minutes. They were a little bit more balanced than.
And I actually went looking at that, and I'm like, man, I don't think this guy must have played 6 minutes tonight. I don't think this guy played 5 minutes. And all of a sudden, you see them all at 11 or more.
Yep.
So, and again, a lot of times when and it's a good thing, when your 3rd and 4th line guys are out there and they're playing 11, 12 minutes, you don't notice them. Good thing.
But you made that point, the not being on the penalty kill a lot. That really, because not everybody kills penalties, that really disrupts the ice time.
Yeah, it does.
So it's 2-0 Florida, but I'd say that they were pretty lucky. Stars go on the power play. It's a 4-minute double minor for high sticking. Seth Jones, our buddy, gets the penalty. And they're a little fortunate that Aaron Ekblad, according to the official scorer, missed the net. You don't believe that Casey DeSmith got his just credit for that play.
Yeah, video doesn't lie. And that shot, it actually hit Casey in the shaft of the stick, knocks the stick out of his hand, and Casey was to the middle, to the left-hand side of the net. So I know his stick wasn't outside the post.
No, not a chance.
Yeah, so that was a shot on net, even though they didn't. Well, you can see it here. You see where Casey
right
is,
in the middle,
and you can just barely see the puck just before it's going to hit his stick. So
and it hit the skinny part up there.
It hits the skinny part of the stick. It knocks the stick down out of his hand. He doesn't lose it completely, but it knocks it down. And then he's able to recover.
And they track that as a missed shot. It's a dangerous.
Well, it missed the net.
It did eventually go wide.
Yeah.
It didn't go in. Yeah. But credit to DeSmith for getting a piece of that, even though he didn't get credit with a save. But Luds, why are we bringing this up? Because this is a shorthanded chance. It's a grade A right in the slot on the rush.
So you're saying Stars are going to score a power play goal, not a 5-on-5 goal?
They are on this following sequence. Back up the ice.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, big save at one end, go down to the other end of the rink. And we've seen that a couple times tonight. So, and that's what happens down here with Wyatt. And it was just another nice passing play, and Wyatt was able to finish it off. And if we can find it, we're going to show it to you. But our system is stuck again, apparently.
It sometimes does that a little bit, doesn't it? There we go.
Well, here's the high stick. Okay, this is where we're working.
That's Justin Hryckowian.
Yeah, that's Hryckowian's goal. So
no,
stick in the face. I mean,
that's
he draws it and then he scores one later on. But here's the stick in the face. This is the one that everybody was like, well, did it really? This one really got him. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then we can see him getting a little tendered to on the behind the glass and getting, I don't know, he's getting his nose wiped off or something like that.
I'd like to say that you're doing a great job vamping. There we go.
There we go.
Is that is that Mikko barking?
No, that was Mikko holding court. So our thing is shuffled here. So anyway, this is the breakdown on the play. This is Rantanen coming to the wall. Look at both of the Florida Panther players. Now they're shorthanded, right? So what happens is they go over to Mikko. Now they create another outnumbered rush. So two defenders go to Mikko. He creates a 2-on-1 for the Stars. Now all of a sudden Wyatt's wide open and Sam Steele with a Mikko Rantanen kind of pass. I mean, he spins around. He's on his forehand, puts it right on the tape of Wyatt. Wyatt doesn't waste any time. And this one here, I think Bob probably wants back. But look at all the empty space here because a 2-on-1 on Rantanen, then another 2-on-1 over here. And then Wyatt does what he's been doing all season long, he finds a little gap here. This one here sneaks between the arm and Bob.
And it's a great shot.
Yeah, it's a great shot. And I think the key to that whole thing is because Wyatt hits it right away. Otherwise,
yes.
Bob probably gets his arms tight. And as he's in his transition from the left side to the right side, he comes a little loose with that left arm. And Wyatt I don't think Wyatt's picking a hole. He's just trying to get it off his stick as quick as he can.
And elevate it a little bit. And he did that. What a goal from Wyatt, who has his team leading 7th of the year. Heck of a goal. Sam Steele and Mikko Rantanen the assist. That power play goal, 14:47. And after the ad break, we'll talk to you about the next power play goal. I thought you were
going to say we're going to talk about the next new read Luds has again.
Well, we're going to do that first, but I know you're on a roll, but we got to pause the breakdown for the new read for Luds next.
Don't even get a chance to proof.
No, you're going to have to do this one cold.
Do you feel it? The leaves are changing. The temperatures are dropping. The pumpkin spice lattes are brewing. Fall is officially upon us, and there's no better place to celebrate than at Globe Life Field for the annual Fall Festival on November 2nd. The fan-favorite event is back for a second straight year with plenty of new fall-themed activities to enjoy, including face painting, trick-or-treat stations, run the bases, carnival games, and much more, all directly on the field. The event runs from 12 to 4 p.m., and there will be costume parade every hour. So be sure to wear your best Halloween costume. When is Halloween? Like yesterday, right?
Yep.
Okay. So don't miss out on the fall event of the year at home of the Texas Rangers. Tickets are on sale now. Go to globelifefield.com/fall festival. That's globelifefield.com/fall festival.
And since it's November 2nd, that's tomorrow. So Sunday, aka tomorrow, at Globe Life Field.
Did I miss that?
No, you said November 2nd. You just, first time reading.
You're just adding?
You did well. Yeah. All right. Shady Rays. You
always get the ones you always do.
What's
going on?
That's not true at all.
Here,
but
give it to Mikey. Mikey will eat anything.
You know that I like to give Luds a hard time about not being able to figure out how to get into the company Slack channel last year, thus not getting the complimentary pair of Shady Rays, and me then wearing 2 years of Halloween costumes with said Shady Rays.
That's right.
Just to rub it in because I'm a nice guy. Well, with Shady Rays, I mean, these are, Luds, not stupidly expensive, but they're still seriously good looking, polarized. They're durable.
Okay, I missed the word not the only time I read it. I forgot that.
And guess what? If you lose them, they will send you a new pair without a guilt trip. Brand new, just replacements. Teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Head to shadyrays.com. Use the code DLLS35 for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000. Okay, now ordinarily, we would do the PNC Bank Player of the Game right now. But because we're in the middle of the breakdown, we're going to wait. We'll do it at the beginning of segment 4. So we're going to throw a curveball just to make Ryan love us a little bit more. How about that? You're in the middle.
He's already having a hard time.
Well, if we go to the Player of the Game now, and then we go back to the second period for goal breakdowns, that seems to be out of chronological order.
Okay, wait. You want to talk a little longer so we can get his giblets together
I
up
think
there?
his giblets are all in order.
Are you good up there?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, no problem.
You can't throw one changeup and he'll knock that thing
right
into right center field. So
what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about
the Bennett goal.
Because it's 2-1.
Oh.
Stars scored a power play goal, but because it's a double minor, they still have another 2 minutes of power play time. Well, Luds, they certainly didn't need 2 minutes.
I almost forgot about the kid's first NHL
That's
goal.
the one I'm talking about.
Okay, well, do we have to show Hryckowian even getting hit in the face again, and he still did it? Okay, let's not. Let's just move ahead. So here we go with the Hryckowian goal. I want you to watch Thomas Harley on the wall, okay? And I know in still shots it doesn't mean much, but look at where he makes this pass to. He's trying to get it over to Essa. It misses Essa by a little bit, all right? But the next shot, and again, I'm telling you, well, go back a second, can you? I want to see the time on the clock. 1:55 up there, right?
Yep.
Now, all of a sudden, we come over here. So that would be about 6 seconds, 5 seconds or so. You can barely see him on the right-hand side
Just
of the
a
screen.
stick
I got an arrow.
and a
That's
glove.
Harley all the way over here. That's how you follow your pass. It doesn't happen without Thomas Harley getting all the way over here. Then what does Harley do? He did it twice tonight. He's got his eyes for a passing lane, and he sees a lane. You can't even see Hryckowian in the picture yet, but the next frame, you're just barely going to see him. And here's where Harley finds that slim lane. You can see 2 players in red jerseys with their six in the middle of the ice where they're supposed to be. Harley finds that little lane through there, right on the tape of Hryckowian. Hryckowian gets it, tilts his stick back. He opens up his blade, and he gets it up over the top of the shoulder. Now, the only reason I believe Bob is where he is because it's Thomas Harley with the puck.
He's thinking shot.
He's thinking shooter. And that's what shooting opens up. So Bob is hanging over here for that shot, slides it back off to the right of Bobrovsky, puts it right on the tape of Hryckowian, turns that and opens that blade. That's the seam he's got right there. Just that little bit, puts it perfectly on Hryckowian's tape, puts it right upstairs on the short side over Bob before he can get back.
Only a couple minutes between getting bloodied, getting, I would assume, stitched
and
up,
putting him on a 4-minute power play,
coming back and scoring very quickly. I mean, because he wasn't on the first part of the power play because he was getting work done back in the locker room area. Comes out, scores, and he'll say it was worth every moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was pumped.
And he was.
Yep, he was pumped.
Great for the kid. He finally gets the goal 12 games into this NHL, or this year is NHL, because he played a couple games last year. But anyway, 2-2 Luds after 40 minutes of play. And I think if you said 5-on-5 hockey, the only thing the Stars did really well 5-on-5 is with the puck is win faceoffs. 24-9 faceoffs after 2. It was 6-5 Dallas in the first. Think about that. That means they went 18-4 in the second period. They dominated the circles. And you know what? When you're on the power play, you win the draw. That saves you a lot of time.
It helps having a guy by the name of Stasha Barkov not in the lineup. You know,
because he's pretty good at those things.
Yeah, he's a sulky dude, so he's pretty good at it.
All right, so you go to the third period. Game is tied. Ryan is getting distracted by the World Series, but we appreciate you both watching that and keeping us.
Can you give us an update
YouTube
on the score?
Actually, he just texted me and said the benches have cleared.
What?
In the World Series Game 7. How about that? Benches.
Can we take a break?
Bullpens. I mean, we could. I don't know if our boss would be super thrilled if we just said
he's in a haunted house right now.
Yeah, well, let's go to the third period. Wyatt Johnston had a really nice redirection in the low slot, like right above the crease, changed directions. Bobrovsky, I think it hit his left pad. That was when it was 3-3. And then shortly after this, Harley made a stick check breakup of a Mackie Samoskevich backhand pass, was looking for Bennett backdoor that I thought either Casey got or it was deflected away. And you said, no. Thomas Harley made an effort to get this. Why did this? What did he do that made this the way it did, and obviously not turn into a grade A scoring chance?
Well, we could show you.
Oh, well, please.
Well, we're not going
to. Okay.
Why don't you tell me? Because I have no idea what.
You don't remember when he put his stick back and lifted it so it ramped right up, and that was the backdoor play where Bennett's.
Okay. So, but that was a one-handed one too. Mm-hmm. So I remember now. Now it comes back to me. So what Thomas does is he's right in front of Casey. So. And thing is, he's to the right of Casey, right? He's not in the middle of the net where you can tip pucks into your own net.
Yep.
So he's only probably about 6 inches or so from the far post. And there's a backdoor pass that's being attempted. And what Harley does, instead of trying to control it, he takes his blade with one hand and he opens it up. And he makes a ramp out of it. And so that's how it goes up and it goes over the top of the net into that area over there. Bounces around a little while.
A couple of minutes later.
What do you
guess
saying?
Who's there in that same area?
But that wasn't Harley this time.
No. But it was Sam Bennett.
Yes,
lurking around, and he scores the go-ahead goal to make it 3-2 at the far side of the crease.
Yeah, and this was unfortunate for Ilya Lyubushkin because this one, when the pass came across, I think they were trying to make a pass directly to Bennett. But what happened is it ended up hitting Ilya Lyubushkin in the back of his left skate on his blade, and that's what put it in. It sent it into the pants of Bennett. And some guys just have the luck, and we don't. We have a video of it, but.
Do we?
Yeah.
I don't think
we have
a
video of it.
Never did that one.
Okay. We didn't?
I don't think so.
Oh, did we run out of time again?
This was.
That's because our boss put us on a time limit.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's
so that
right.
we wouldn't
run
off another producer.
It hits Bennett. It hits him in the leg, and what it's supposed to do, it's supposed to pop behind you when it does that, or sit down as you're moving to your right. It doesn't. Pops right at the Bennett. But that's what happens to good players. And there's no panic. He just pauses, gets the puck on his tape, and he outweights Casey. And he skates to the left of Casey. Casey can't catch up with it. And it looks like he puts it in.
There is a method to his madness, though, because Bennett was the puck carrier as he came into the zone, and then he passes it off to the left. And as he continues, you mentioned the pace at which he kind of meanders to the front of the net. He's just sort of kind of hovering around the scoring area.
But he stays about 6 to 10 feet away from the front of the net, where a lot of players would start crashing the net.
Right.
But there's a pocket there, and he's waiting for that puck to enter that space, which it does, even though it comes off a Lubushin skate. But then he's able to skate into it, where otherwise, if he skates like a lot of other guys would to try to get to the front of the net quick, it would probably go behind him.
Yep.
But this way, it still hits him in the leg or where it was in the ass. I don't know. It hit him.
Well, Bennett gets his second goal of the year, and it's 3-2 Florida. Now you're thinking, oh, geez, here we are chasing the game again.
I was packing up.
And the Moose makes a great play from Sam Steele again.
But he was getting abused on. I mean, down behind the goal line by Aaron Ekblad, who's a big strong defenseman. There was a battle going on. And I know the Moose hit the turf like a couple different times, and he popped right back up. And then the pass. I mean, again, it's the pass that's made by Sam Steele onto the tape of Mikko Rantanen, but the way that Rantanen turns his blade, he opens it up because he knew he wanted to go upstairs with it. And he was I mean, it was the angle that he puts it there from. But again, it was Sam Steele. We probably haven't even mentioned Sam Steele's not. Where is the Man of Steel, by the way? Do we have the Man of Steel?
You'd have to ask Ryan if he has the little Man of Steel
There
graphic.
he is, right there. We knew he
does.
was there. This cat had a great game tonight.
He did.
He did. But it was a perfect pass, and he put it right where Rantanen wanted it. And then Rantanen did the rest with the tilt of the blade and got up on the short side of Bobrovsky.
Mikko's fifth goal of the year. And I believe, if I heard correctly, he has points in 9 of 12 or something like that, or 10 of 12. I'd have to go back and look to make sure. But the guy produces consistently. And there was one point during the game where I was remarking about how he was I mean, look, we're not beating a dead moose here. We're just repeating things. He tracked defense. Thank you, Ryan. He laughed. That's all. Ryan laughed. That's all it's good for. But he tracked all the way back below his own goal line to make a defensive play. The puck went around to the far side. He pursued. It came back up. And all of a sudden, here comes Mikko, and he's looking to try to slash it away from the defenseman. And if he gets it, he's off to the races. He just doesn't quit on plays.
No, he competes.
Yep.
I mean, as good as he is and everything else he does, he leads. And we did have you showed that one shot of Mikko on the bench there before the power play. Can you pull that back up, or is it going to take a while to find it? Okay. So, speaking of the Moose, I'm driving home yesterday. At my exit, there's one of them animal trucks. You know that, like, they pick the dogs up and things like that.
Yeah, animal control.
Yeah, that's it. Animal control truck. Sit right there where the exit is. There is a huge buck laying on the exit ramp. I mean, huge, dead.
Roadkill.
Obviously, roadkill. I didn't see any blood, but anyway, I mean, talk about a huge buck. And I saw the guy dude just standing there. He was taking a picture of it before. I don't know what he's going to wait for a wrecker to pick it up or something like that. But anyway, so here we go.
Nice interlude, though.
Yeah. Well, so this is the stick in the face again. But right after this,
hey, there's Oscar Beck.
yeah. Oh, there he is. we found the.
We found him.
He did play.
He did play.
Sorry, Oscar. You did a good job.
You were
tonight.
fine, Oscar.
But now, right here. This here is before the power play starts. You can see there's still 4 minutes on the clock, and the cameras had it on. Mikko must have looked at like all 4 players, and he was holding court, and he was holding everybody accountable and told them where they were going to be. So anyway, I just wanted that one little cup. Sometimes the still shots don't do you justice, but it is what it is.
But you got to work with what they have.
So anyways, Mikko Rantanen's a pretty good player.
Then you go to overtime, and the Stars had more. Well, it's pretty close because Ekblad had 2. Casey made 2 really good saves on Ekblad. He also made a great save on a Sam Bennett rebound. But Wyatt drove right to the net to start it. Then Mikko Rantanen had a one-timer that hit the post. There were less non-high danger, but quality chances from Robertson, Johnston again. Harley had a couple late. Dallas had a lot of puck possession this overtime.
Notice the names you're always mentioning.
Yeah, it's the same group, isn't it?
The same guy.
But you know who was playing well tonight that got overtime that I hadn't seen in a little bit was Sam Steele was out there for a little overtime.
That's the thing about Gully. Glenn Gulliskin, and I think all coaches do, but he recognizes the guys that are going, and he gives them the opportunity to keep going, and he knows who they're going well with. And, yeah, Sam Steele, again, great game.
Well, the Stars get a point.
He didn't get in the shootout, though. He wasn't going that great.
Well, they didn't get far enough in because we had a robo move that was denied by Bobrovsky, and then he got a little lucky.
See,
2 posts.
Yeah. But I think with the robo one, I think he did that on purpose. I think he went from forehand, backhand, went to forehand, and he just wanted to kind of slide it through, kind of catch Bobrovsky as he's sliding from his left to right.
He's so good coming down from the left side and then just either opening him up or roofing it
usually
upstairs.
It's pretty quick with the 5-hole.
Very quick.
He gets here and boom. This one here, I
know he was crossed up or something.
I don't know. I think he was doing it on purpose. He's just too good to make it look nonchalant.
Probably.
Yeah. So anyway.
Well, but it was the Rat King himself, Brad Marchand, who scored the 1 shootout goal. And
he was going Mach 1 by the time he got to the blue line. He took off at center ice. I mean, he took a ramp to pick before he got the puck up, and he was flying. I said to myself, he's going to put the brakes on. It's one of those kind of put the brakes on. But he was flying, and I think what he was doing is when a goaltender, Casey, comes out, and they always want to come out a little bit, then kind of come back.
Try to match his speed.
I think he almost outraced him, and so Casey couldn't judge it enough. And there's a part of me, Sean, or maybe Sam. Where is Sam?
Sam is on a PTO day.
He's on a PTO day this time. Okay. Well, we need Sam to ask Casey if the speed of Brad Marchand threw him off at all.
Well, Sean has said, as our resident goalie guru, that the hardest shootout or breakaway move is when players are going fast because you don't have a lot of time to read and react. You have to just...
And you don't skate back into your crease with your pads together and your legs together.
Right.
You're kind of shuffling backwards.
Right.
And I think that's part of what happened is he caught him on his way back and he hit the 5-hole.
Yep. Well, shootout win for the Florida Panthers. We have another ad read from Luds. Coming up next here on the DLS Stars postgame show.
Hang on. Is this one that's got visual to it? Because if it doesn't, I'm in trouble.
It is visual.
Is this a DLS merchandise one?
It sure is.
Oh, okay. Well, that one I can handle because we've been doing it. Oh, and you were playing with me up there, Ryan. You gave me the look like you don't know what's going on. Speaking of not what's going on, I had no idea what I was doing when I said if we sold 25 of these shirts that I would buy some beer for everybody at Hooters. But these are the 2 new shirts, the Dallas. It looks like it says Tavern to me, but I know it says Dallas Hockey. But the green one and the black one, that's an A or a star.
Yeah.
So anyway, these are our 2 big shirts. And before tonight, before the show started, I think we needed 8 or 9 sold to get to the 25. Yes, so I don't know if we got that.
Well, you know that our boss is not going to be updating us tonight.
Well, then we're not getting free shirts. Is that the point? Well, no, he's in a
we could still be selling them, but he's not giving us updates. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So look, help us out. We need you to go to alldls.com and buy one of those shirts right now. And if, let's say 10 of you do it, just to be safe, then we'll get a shirt. We'll wear them on the show. We'll thank you for it. And then Luds will really thank you for it.
Everybody's sitting at home like, why should I go buy a shirt so you guys get a free shirt?
Right.
I get that too, but if you guys show up with the shirt on at Hooters, you'll get a little payback.
December 7th, we are doing a DLS takeover. Stars takeover it's already sold out, but there's no reason you can't join us at Hooters. So what we're doing is it'll probably be around 2 o'clock. The people that bought tickets to this event, who also have tickets to the Stars game as part of this package, are going to come into our studio and watch us pre-tape the pregame show a couple hours early. Let's say at 2 o'clock. They play the Penguins at 5. Then we're going to go with the whole group down to Hooters, and they're going to have, AKA, late lunch, early dinner on us. Luds is going to buy a whole bunch of people beer, I think.
Apparently, we're going to try to make it to the game after all this.
And then we're going to the game.
All right.
And then afterwards, the show, not everybody else, but just us, we'll come back here and do the post game a little later than usual. But I don't see why somebody couldn't be down there at Hooters somewhere around 3 o'clock on Sunday, December 7th, and wear the shirt, even if they don't have tickets to the game with our group.
Oh, now you're promoting that.
I mean, you're trying to get 25 people to buy them.
I don't think I started this whole deal.
Anyway.
But somebody's trying to get them.
All right.
Can we bring the Stanley Cones?
That Stanley Cone right there?
Yeah.
Could do what? What do we want to do?
Would you bring the Stanley Cone to Hooters? Or do we worry about losing?
Why not? I mean I can always steal another cone. I mean, it's no big
but that
deal.
one has intrinsic value now.
Have you been up and down Highway 35? I can steal as many as I need. I'm good.
Next time we got to do a Stanley barrel, one of those big construction barrels. You know what this is? This tells me that it's time for the PNC Bank Player of the Game. So tonight's Player of the Game, as selected by us, we're going to debate this to make it a more interesting segment. But there's really no debate here. The only one, Leds, is if we wanted to go with a Florida Panther, because Brad Marchand had a heck of a game. He scored the first goal. He scored the shootout winner. He's always Mr. Clutch, it seems. But there's a guy for the Stars who had a game high in points and tied his career best with 3 assists.
Yeah, Sam Steele was excellent, start to finish tonight. And I was I wouldn't throw him under the bus. I mean, guy, not just Sam included, but I was talking in pregame about, some guys playing up the lineup a lot compared to last year. So anyway, he had a great game.
Pick up your free Dallas Stars hockey hair hat right here. Look at that. Is that not amazing? And the Velcro on the mullet, so you can take the mullet hair off if you'd like to wear the hat without it. So it's like a double purpose hat. You can get this at PNC Plaza, compliments of PNC Bank, on November 4th and November 6th at PNC's pop-up Main Street branch. And come hang out with us because we'll be there, Luds, myself, Sam, GM Ben, I think, on November 6th out at PNC Plaza. No purchase necessary. One of these per person while supplies last. Copyright 2025, the PNC Financial Services Group Incorporated, PNC Bank, an official partner of the Dallas Stars. Okay, so we've done our breakdown. We've done our player of the game.
Not very well. But
you know what that means?
What?
Super chat.
Oh, bing
so,
bong.
Ryan, fire up bing bong. Time for a super chat or two.
Bing
or 5
bong.
or 6, or let us have it. So we are going to start with, that one says what I think it says. Finger Blaster 911 with a Kyle Capobianco in year after the Cup. During this run of injuries and offensive anemia, it went to the background. Robo's contractual value changing in the mind of Nil with his lack of production? He should be stepping up, and he's stepping off the scoring. By the way, Harley was great. I disagree because I think Jason Robertson has been continuously dangerous in the first 12 games of the season. Some of the pucks haven't gone in. I think the way he's playing right now, Luds, he's due for 4 or 5 or 6 in a flurry, and all of a sudden he's at 10 goals and flying.
Yeah, he's due, but he's a goal scorer.
Yep.
He has to score goals.
He needs to score goals.
He's got to, and again, I think he needs to start scoring soon because you don't want him to get into that situation where he feels the pressure more so of the contract than everything else. So, but at the end of the day, he's kind of right because I'm not even going to guess what that.
I mean, it looks like the avatar is Anthony Bourdain, so R.I.P. to Anthony.
I mean, when you got a handle like that, I don't know.
I know.
So,
Bing
anyway.
bong.
Kendra, thank you, Ryan, with a Hayskin and 99 cup here, just because I want to hear the grundle drop. LOL.
Your balls, butt cracks, and grundles.
By the way, drop request. Wonderful way of using a super chat.
Yes.
I think it's phenomenal. Let's go to the next one. Seth Eubank,
Bing
314 with a Lundqvist, or it could be a Sador, but we're going to go with current, and a 99 cup here. Are we ever going to see a dominant forecheck, or will we just keep playing a dump and chase where we lose 75% of the puck battles?
Well, and the problem is I don't think they want to play dump and chase. They generally won't when they get everybody in the lineup, but I think right now they're trying to spend as much offensive zone time because tomorrow they might be 31st in 5-on-5 goals. I don't know, but right now they're 30th in 5-on-5 goals scored. So I think they're doing the trying to make the correct decisions at the offensive blue line so that they can spend as much time in the offensive zone as they can. But I would suggest sometimes with the dump-ins, if that's what they're going to do, they need the soft chip behind the defenseman, the same side soft chip. It's the last thing a defenseman wants instead of the hard rimmed, because now it becomes more of a 50-50 puck behind, or putting it behind the net where a goaltender can make a play on it.
Let's go to Burps McGurps.
Bing bong.
Also a great name, with a Lundqvist and year after the Cup. I still haven't heard one quote from Glenn that indicates he knows what he's doing. Quote, hit more. LOL. Okay, dude, you're paid millions to coach that?
That's just part of it. That's only part of it. You don't get the complete look behind the scenes. And hey, the guys that are in the lineup are playing hard. That's something. But you're leaning on, 2, 3, 4 guys every single night right now.
I'm a little
Bing
afraid.
bong.
Not an answer for you.
I'm afraid to read the next one, but it's a super chat. And Burned Oils with a Brendan Smith. No, we decided this year would be a Darian Hatcher.
Yeah, I was going to say, what about
Darian Hatcher, year after the Cup.
Can we show Hatch again? Do we have Hatcher up there?
We could get Hatch up there.
Let's show the Hatch. This is why we're going with Hatch.
That's right. This was the Darian Hatcher was the PNC mullet of the game.
Yeah, put that hat on, Owen. You could be a little Hatch. There you go. There's Hatch. Now can you get a side by side with the Owen? No.
Hey, Ryan's like,
like, can't you get a picture of Hatch and Owen at the same time?
I think you can switch.
Now I can.
Doesn't work like that. Okay,
Here, I'll put it on. Go ahead.
Okay.
You can go back to the main camera and you can show.
See, now look at Hatch there. Same kind of.
I mean, spitting image, right?
Pretty similar. Yeah,
little
pretty
blonde.
similar.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Ryan's laughing. He's like, "What kind of equipment do you think I have over here?" Can you give me a star wipe, maybe a dissolve, and all right. But yeah, Burned Oils had a Hatcher, and a year after the Cup says, "Luds, is it true that when you get hit in the grundles?" And that's it. I feel like there's something that's missing there, so maybe we should just play the drop again.
Are you supposed to fill in the blank?
Your balls, butt cracks, and grundles.
All right, we have another super chat, so we'll move on. And by the way, it's from Finger Blaster 911, and it's an Oscar Beck and year after the Cup. By the way, Finger Blaster did say in the chat earlier.
Are you saying his handle more just for me?
You can't say his because in the chat. No.
That handle.
In the chat.
The handle.
Finger Blaster said.
You're doing it.
Hold on.
I'm not even going to say it.
The chat response was, I identify as they/them. So I know that'll make your head spin. But anyway, super chat is, this is the season that the Tyler contract looms large. Would love to go shopping with what we are spending for that lack of production.
Are we talking Tyler Seguin in particular now?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Well, again,
he's missing his wingman.
You can say the same. You can say the same thing about a couple guys that are making some good changes.
Okay, so I saw somebody in the chat earlier. It wasn't a super chat, but they asked the question of, what did you think about Wyatt on the top line? Because remember, Seguin, Steele, and Rantanen was how they rolled out the game against the Lightning. Did you like Wyatt with Rantanen and Robo?
I like Wyatt with anybody. Yeah, I mean, how do you not like Wyatt? I mean,
yeah,
that's Finger Blaster. What?
They them.
Yeah, they them.
I know. Yeah, by the way, Stars fan says, poor Ryan with a laughing emoji. Yeah, I know. It happens. The Stars will be back home, Luds. We have a show coming up on Monday, and then we have a 4-game week again. Because if you're talking about, well, they have 2 days off, which is nice after playing 7 games in 12 days without 2 days without a game in a row. Well, November, they have tomorrow off. They'll practice Monday, and then they have a 4-game week, and they have 7 in 12 again. And it starts on Tuesday night, and it's Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and the Edmonton Oilers coming to town against Glenn Gulletson. That's his old team against his new team. You know that this is probably more important for the Stars and Gully than it is for the Edmonton Oilers, but they haven't exactly gotten off to a rip-roaring start to the season.
No, I was going to say, and they're not where they want to be at all. You know, but I think, again, understandable, right? All the way to the finals, a couple years in a row. It takes this
toll. And they had to lose some players because of salary cap.
Yeah, and if you saw the OT goal the other night, and I mean, there's times even Connor McDavid looked a little disinterested in it. So, but I think there's some frustration going on there. But again, I think it'll heat up from there, and both rooms will have money on the board. Hopefully, Gully will have some money on the board for the boys.
Listen to this week, because it changes a little bit. They play the Joel Quenneville and the Anaheim Ducks on Thursday, so 2 home games.
A different Anaheim Ducks.
They are getting better, and they're pretty dynamic. I still think they have issues in their own zone, but
it'll be a fast game,
and they're going to be tested, aren't they?
Yep.
Then maybe one of the worst teams in the league right now, the Nashville Predators. So back to Nashville for the second time in 2 weeks, and they, by the way, that's their second and final trip to Bridgestone Arena during the regular season. 2:30 afternoon game on Saturday, and then they come back home because nobody enjoys the back-to-back with travel more than the Dallas Stars. 6 o'clock game on November 9th to say hello to Mason Marchment and the Seattle Kraken.
Old friends coming back.
It's quite a week.
Yeah.
And then, just to keep this 7 and 12, at Ottawa, at Montreal, your favorite, and then back home to play a surprisingly good Philadelphia Flyers team so far. So
that's actually a couple. The Montreal Philly will be a good test too, because Montreal's flying, Philly's young and up and coming now. So yeah, that's a great tester of a stretch coming up again.
So 4 games this week, which means we only have one show. It's Monday. So literally 2 days from now, 2 o'clock, we'll be back in studio. We might even get to see our buddy Sam. We'll see if he has a practice update for us. Maybe we'll find out where Matt Duchene is. I think Rope Hintz is probably a little farther
No volleyball
away.
game or anything he's going to go to?
I mean, who can say,
High
right?
school volleyball game he could go report on?
But we have a pretty exciting week. So, and of course, more and more stuff is coming out about the lawsuits between the Stars and the Mavs, including Mark Cuban weighed in. So we'll talk about that.
That stuff's still going on?
It's not going anywhere
I
for
thought
a
it would
while.
be over by now.
Craig Ludwig, Darian Hatcher, a.k.a. I'm Owen Newkirk, and of course, Ryan Vaughters, promoted to sergeant, our producer. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We will see you Monday for another DLLS Stars podcast.
Your balls, butt cracks, and grundles.
We all silly like the mayor.